Hello, this is SJ Talks and Live coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. I was watching Willie D, the Willie D channel. I love his content. Um, he was talking about Willie D. He's one of he's a member of the former group, the Ghetto Boys. Yes, he has a YouTube channel, and he was talking about this black man went to Colombia, and um, he was an only child, which is really sad. Went to another country, and someone unalived him. He was from New York, and someone unalived him. I guess they're trying to investigate and find out what happened. They found him in his Airbnb unalived. So they said that he was an only child. My heart and prayers go out to his mother. They said that he was an avid traveler, black man. They said he was an avid traveler, and he made lots of trips by him, solo trips by himself. I said that does it. My sons can't go out of the country without me. That does it. I said neither one of my sons can go out of the country without me. They go out of the country, they gotta bring me along. That's what I want to talk about. Um, I know that black men got this whole passport bro revolution thing going on. I did some other videos talking about passport bros. Um, I don't remember where they're at, but I did two or three other videos talking about passport bros. Um, and I know I did one not too long ago about I was talking about how black men are going to these other countries, and they're being unalived. Some in some countries, and sometimes black women are too. Black people, period. And I know that you guys, a lot of you guys have this whole passport bro revolution thing going on. That you think that you're looking for a suitable marriage mate, or I guess they're looking for a suitable marriage mate, and they feel like the women here in the United States is not fitting the bill. So they figure they'll try their chances, to try their luck going overseas to look for a wife. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that if you want a wife from overseas. There's issues that comes with that, but there's nothing at the end of the day. The larger scheme of things, there's really nothing wrong with that. Um, I don't see no reason why they can't find a good wife here in the United States. There's 50 states here in the United States, and there's lots of women. I don't know what the percentage of just the percentage of women here in the United States. All women of all races. There's a large percentage of women. Women pretty much outnumber men, so there's lots of women here in the United States. There's 50 states, and there's plenty of women of all races here in the United States that they have to choose from. But they're saying that American women, a lot of them don't feel like American women are fitting the bill, especially the black women. They say that, but they're saying that they don't want to fool with no American black or women, period. But they especially they overemphasize black women, and they say that, they don't think that a lot of us are marriageable, that are worth marrying. So they want to go ahead and go overseas and try to find a suitable wife. And that what's happening is that a lot of them are going to these other countries, and they getting set up. That's what they're not telling you. This is something that the black manosphere is not talking about. That a lot of these black men are going to these other countries, and a lot of these, like, um, people all over the world look at YouTube. You guys know that, right? When I look at my analytics, when I go into my analytics, it actually says on there, and it'll tell me how many people in the United States is watching me. And there are some people that in other countries that actually watch my channel. So people all over the world watch YouTube. Okay, people all over the world are watching YouTube, and these people in these other countries are watching YouTube, and they're hearing about black men talking about going to other countries, and they're looking at these videos about men talking about going to these other countries and this and that and the other, and so a lot of these men, black men, are going to these other countries and they're getting set up, they're getting robbed, and and people are unaliving them. And then another issue, and that's something that all black people, because there's some black women that have been as well, that has been going to other countries, and they've been getting unalived. And that's something that's not really talked about a lot, is that racism is not just in the United States. Racism is worldwide. Even in some of these melanated countries like Jamaica, Bahamas, they might not Africa, you know, some African country, because Africa is a continent. Africa is not a country, it's a continent. It's huge. It's like several countries within a continent is what Africa is. In some places in Africa, they don't fool with American black people. And that's what they were saying. I heard that there was some black women that was being unalived in Africa. That black people need to be careful going to these other countries, because racism is worldwide. And then some of the people that look like us in other countries don't like us. They don't fool with American black people, you know. And some of even a lot of, I'm not saying everybody in Africa, because there's some places where they're pretty welcoming of American black people, but there's some places in Africa where they don't like American, or there's a lot of people in Africa that they don't care for American black people, because some of them actually look down on us and everything, because they think that, because we're descendants, they think that we're descendants of, well, a lot of us are descendants of slaves, and believe it or not, they look down on us because of that, as if we can help that. But believe it or not, they look down on us because of that. So a lot of times they're looking down on us. They don't like us. Even the melanated people that look like us in these other countries don't look like us. I mean, don't like us. And so racism is worldwide. It's not just in the United States. It's world. They said Japan was pretty. They said Japan was pretty good. They said um, there's actually a channel on here where they're talking about black people living in Japan, and they said that the people in Japan are pretty friendly. It's a pretty friendly country for the most part. China, if I don't know, I took China off my bucket list, because after COVID, and I found out how they was treating them black people. I said, mm-mm. They said Chinese people don't like black people. I took China off my bucket list. I ain't going to China, but I'll definitely want to go to Japan. But I ain't gonna fool with China. But some places I just took off my bucket list. I'm not going. So racism is worldwide. So black people have to be careful. Black men, black women. You guys need to be careful. I mean, if you want to go look for a wife in another country, you know, just don't bash black women in the process. That's what a lot of them are doing, and that's what that I don't like, because there's how many black women in this country? I don't know, quite not quite sure. But there's millions of black women in this country, and I don't think you've met them all. So it's not fair to put all black women in the same box and say that all black women are the same. So, and what they don't say is that they overlook a black woman that could potentially be a good wife. They overlook her, because maybe her skin is not light enough. Maybe the texture of her hair, they don't like the texture of her hair, or her skin is not light enough, or some other, because we're held to a higher standard. Black men hold us to much higher standard than they do other races of women. So that's what they're not saying, is that they're probably ran into many women that could have potentially been their wife here in the United States, but they overlooked them for aesthetic reasons, because their skin wasn't light enough, or their hair texture, they didn't like the texture of their hair, and because we got texturism in the black community too. And so this is what they're not saying. So there's plenty of good women, and there's good women of all races here in the United States. Not just there's plenty. Now you want to try your hand at a Caucasian woman or an Asian woman. There's plenty of wonderful women here in the United States. Why do you have to go overseas to find a woman? You know, but they get stereotypical and they say that they'll just say Western women. Period. You haven't met all of Western women. You know, so I just think they're being unfair in that sense. And then they assume that these women in these other countries are going to be better. And then what happens is they get to these other countries and these women are robbing them. The women and the men folk over there, because they're looking at YouTube. Once again, YouTube is worldwide. They're looking at these videos and hearing about these men talking about going overseas and this and that. And they're setting these men up. This is what the manosphere is not talking about. They're setting these men up. They're going over there and they're robbing them and taking their money and they're unaliving them. That don't sound like a good woman to me. They get the men in on it. You know that the woman lured. What happens is, um, it's a hustle. That's they hustle. That's they hustle in these other countries. The women, they use the women to lure the men in, and once the man gets lured in, lower you sleep with him and everything, lower his defenses, and then the next thing you know, two or three guys come on in, bust in the hotel room, and next thing you know, he's getting robbed. He's getting robbed. They're taking his money, his phone, computer, whatever it is that he has on him. And this man was an only child. He was the only child, so her mother has to bury her son, her only son. And I don't know if he was a passport bro or not. I don't know if he was a passport bro. They said that he was an avid traveler. Willie D said that he was an avid traveler, that he traveled to a lot of places by himself. So maybe he just was a black man that just liked to travel. But when he went to Colombia, and I hear Colombia is pretty dangerous. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't think you guys. We should be messing around with Colombia. I heard Brazil and Colombia were dangerous. I don't think I'll be messing around with no Colombia. They got those cartels. Mexico. My son was like, "Mom, stay out of Mexico." And I like to watch House Hunters. That show, House Hunters International. I love that show, House Hunters, and I like to watch House Hunters International. And they always show the episodes in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I said it looks pretty nice over there. They had episodes with people moving over there and stuff. And I said, I don't know, I might want to go to Puerto Vallarta. But my son be like, Mom, stay out of Mexico, Mom. No Mexico. He tells me no Mexico. He's because of the cartels and stuff like that over in Mexico and stuff like that. Mexico is not really safe either. I don't know about certain areas worse than others. I don't know. But lots of people have went to Mexico and came back in one piece. But I just think it's risky for all Americans. I think it's risky for all Americans, and I think it's even more riskier for black people because racism is international. It's international. And they don't fool with black people in some of these countries. They don't fool with black folks. They don't like black people in some of these other countries. They read the American news. They look at social media. They read American news and this and that, and they know what's going on over here. And so racism is worldwide. And so black people have to be careful. I was looking at this YouTuber, this black female YouTuber, and she was talking about all the racism that she had to encounter in these different countries because she was an avid traveler too. I can't remember who it was. I think I'm subscribed to her channel. But she was talking about all the racism that she had to endure in these different countries that she goes to. So racism is worldwide. And so that's something that black people have to be aware of. Passport bros and things like that. Now, like I said, you want to go overseas and try to find a wife, just be careful. just be careful and be observant of their laws in these other countries, because sometimes these folks be going over to these other countries and be thinking you can do some of the same stuff that you can do here in the United States. And just like what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. I'm drawing a blank. The young lady that had a little cannabis oil in her, she had a little, all she had was a little cannabis oil. The basketball player. Hit me up in the comment section. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now. Brittany. What was her last name? I can't think of her last name, but anyway. And she got caught up and got locked up over there in Russia and in the United States. I'm surprised. I'm really shocked that the United States really went up to bat to get her out. So, Grimer, is that on Brittany Griner? Is that her name? Yeah. I did some videos on her. So she's back here at home, and I think she participated in the Olympics this year. But they was talking about giving her some time. They was talking about giving her some time for that. You know, this places here in the United States, marijuana is not legal on the federal level, but it's legal in some states. It's not legal in all states, but it's legal. It's not legal on a federal level. They were talking about making it legalized on the federal level. I don't know what happened with that. In some states, here in Michigan, it's legalized. In some other states, it's legalized too. So what you can do here, you can't do in other countries. You can't be smoking up no weed in these other countries. They don't play that. You know? So that's a hard lesson that she had to learn. I'm glad the sister got back here. But that was a hard lesson. They're shooting around. I don't know if they're shooting somewhere. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, it was a hard lesson to learn. So you got to observe the laws. You have to observe the laws and pay attention to the laws. And the things that you can do here in the United States, you can't do in some of these other countries. Okay? So, and then a lot of them ain't down for black. They ain't crazy about black. So, we don't know if it's a situation to where he got set up, you know, the woman, because they use a woman to lure the man in. And that's something that black men have to be. Please be aware, black men and black people, black women too. Please be careful going to these other countries. I said, that does it. My sons go out of the country, they got to bring me with them. Because I want to go on a cruise. I want to take on my 60th around my 60th birthday. I want to bring my 60th birthday in with a bang. And I want to take a cruise. And you know, of course, I'm going to blog it. And so I might wind up taking somebody with me, you know, somebody want to go, a family member or one of my sons or somebody coming with me, you know. I take somebody with me. So, I mean, when you go out of the United States, might have to take somebody with you. Might have to take somebody with you. Like, find a travel buddy. Get a travel buddy. You know, you guys find another brother that is a passport bro too. And you guys go together. That way you guys can look out for one another. That's what Willie is talking about. He's saying that, you know, get you a travel buddy. There's plenty of black men that be hollering that they want to go overseas. So get you another brother that is a passport bro too. And you guys go over there together and get you an Airbnb and get together a travel buddy. And then you guys could look out for one another. You see how that works? So there's a lot of people that do travel by themselves and everything. But you just have to be careful. You just have to be very vigilant and just be on the lookout, because a lot of these people in these other countries, they up to no good. And they think that Americans are rich. Some of these other countries, some of these really poor countries like Mexico and stuff, they be thinking Americans are rich, and they be thinking Americans got a lot of money and stuff like that. And they don't care about your life. Hell, folks don't even care about your life here in the United States. But they really don't care about your life in these other countries. And it was by the grace of God. He was from New York, so it was by the grace of God that they was able to get his body back home so his mother could give him a proper burial. But it's sad. He was an only child. So now a mother has to bury her only son. So that's sad. I'm a son. I'm a boy mom, son mom too. So yeah, I can imagine how painful that is for her. My heart and prayers go out to her. My condolences, heart and prayers go out to her. But black people, black men, passport bros, black women, black people, black Americans, please be careful going to these other countries. Do your research, research the laws, research the crime. You can research all that. I looked up, I said, what was the safest country? I Googled. I'm a Googler. I'm always Googling something. I'm like, what's the safest country in the world? That's what I Googled. It said Japan. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world. Do you know they don't allow no guns? They don't allow guns in Japan. That's why you don't hear about school shootings and stuff over there. They don't allow it. They don't allow them in the country. When I Googled that, they said Japan was one of the safest countries in the world. See, you can Google stuff. You can Google crime rates of different countries and things like that. If you're going in a Pacific area in that country, Google it and find out what the crime stats are on that particular area. So you just have to be vigilant. And then you go into a place, if you go into Mexico, make sure you stay in the resort areas. You got to be safe. Because they got a lot of cartels down there in Mexico. The cartels are real bad down there, and I think it is in Colombia too. Colombia, I heard some bad things about Colombia. I ain't fooling. I don't know about you guys. I ain't messing around in no Colombia. I'm not going to the Colombia. I'm not going to what's the name of that the the DR, the Dominican Republic. I don't think I'm gonna mess with them either. I hear that they was giving people that poisonous alcohol down there, and people was turning up dead, unalived. And not just black people. It was some black people too, but it was some white Americans too that was over there. They checked out. They checked out. Yeah, that they got some bad alcohol over there or something that they've been giving folks, killing unaliving Americans over there. So I don't know. I would say proceed with caution if you go into the Dominican Republic. I would say proceed with caution because I don't know that a lot of them places don't like Americans. They don't like Americans. They don't like what we stand for. Um, and a lot of them don't ain't too crazy about. They don't like black. They don't like black people in these other countries. A lot of them they'll accept white folk, but they don't care for black. They ain't too crazy about black. So you just black Americans, just be careful going to passport bros. Just be careful going to these other countries. Get you a travel buddy. Take somebody with you. Don't go by yourself. Just take somebody with you. Unless you're going to Japan. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world. You might be able to go there by yourself. But some of these other places, take a travel. And then he was in Colombia, and I've heard some bad stuff about Colombia. He should have took somebody with him. He shouldn't have went by himself. So just something to think about. Just something to think about. It's all right to travel. I want to travel myself, but we just got to be careful. We got to be careful how we moving out here. We got to be careful here in the United States, but we got to be careful. At least if something happened to you in the States, they can. It's easier for them to get you home. To transport you home. Whereas you get to some of these other countries and something happens to you, it's gonna be hard for your family to get you back here, so they can give you a proper burial. So it's just something to think about. It's sad that we have to think about these things, but it is what it is. It's the way of the world. It's life. So, and of course, as always, pray, 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 pray. Power of prayer. Hit me in the comment section. Let me know if you've heard about that. If not, it's on the Willie D channel. Um, but what are your thoughts on traveling solo? People traveling solo. Should people always take somebody with them? Um, and what are your thoughts on passport bros? Black people going to other countries and things like that. Just hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. And hit that like, subscribe, and share, and notification bell. And you guys be safe out there and be blessed.